logarithm of 6 base 5. I have 5 less than 6 and I am applying logarithm with base 5 on both sides. Now I need to decide which sign I need to use in between these logarithms, either less than or greater than. Since the base is 5 greater than 1, I am in the first situation, so utilize the same symbol. Now this logarithm of 5 base 5 is 1, which is less than logarithm of 6 base 5. It in turn represents that log 6 base 5 is greater than 1. So if you take 1 as a barrier, log 6 base 5 is greater than that 1, whereas this log 5 base 6 is less than that 1. So clearly log 6 base 5 is the larger value among these two. Right? For suppose if both the values are greater than 1, you need to think about 2. Right? You need to compare those two given logarithms with 2 itself. Now I have one more problem. If you think these two values are greater than 1, since these two are greater than 1, you need to think about 2. Right? To decide whichever is greater, either log 3 base 3 or 2. To decide whichever is greater, either log 11 base 3 or 2, you need to compare with the power with base to the power 2. I am erasing this. See, already you practiced these two cases. In the first case we are utilizing the same sign, whereas in the second case we are utilizing the opposite sign. Now our task is to compare this logarithm of 3 base 2 and that logarithm of 11 base 3. Now first what I am going to do is comparison with 1. Since 3 is greater than 2, 3 is greater than 2, a very clear task. Now apply logarithm with base 2, because here it is base 2, right? So logarithm of 3 base 2 and logarithm of 2 base 2. Which symbol I need to utilize? Either less than or greater than. Since I am applying logarithm with base 2, so I need to utilize the same symbol. So same greater than will be here. So then you will get that logarithm of 3 base 2 is greater than 1. And whereas in the second case, 11 is greater than 3. Clearly 11 greater than 3. So you need to start in comparison of logarithms, always you need to start with one well-known statement related to the base and power. Here 11 is less than 3. Now you just take logarithm with base 3. Log 11 base 3 and log 3 base 3. Since I am applying logarithm with base 3, which is in the first case, so you place the same sign. So logarithm of 11 base 3 is greater than 1. So from these two, we conclude that log 3 base 2 as well as log 11 base 3, both the values are greater than 1. But how to compare? Since both are greater than 1, then you need to look at 2. If 1 is less than 2 and 1 is greater than 2, then our task is still completed, right? So if you need to compare with 2, you need to concentrate on 3 and 2 square. If you check, 2 square is 4, this is 3, and clearly 3 is less than 2 square. This is the known task actually. 3 is less than 2 square is the known task. Now again you need to apply logarithm with base 2. So logarithm of 3 base 2, logarithm of 2 square base 2. Now which sign you need to use? Again the same sign, less than, because the base is more than 1. Now this is logarithm of 3 base 2, whereas logarithm of 2 square base 2 value is 2. So this logarithm of 3 base 2 is less than 2. Now what to say about this 11 and 3? Now just look at 11 and 3 square. Since you need to compare 11 base 3 with 2, start with 11 and 3 square. And clearly this 11 is greater than 3 square, 9. Now apply logarithm with base 3, logarithm of 11 base 3, logarithm of 3 square base 3. And I need to write a sign in between these logarithms, whether it is less than or greater than. Surely greater than, because the base is 3. Now see, the left side is log 11 base 3, whereas if you simplify the right side it is 2, you will conclude that you have that log 11 base 3 is greater than 2. And from these two statements it is very clear that log 3 base 2, log 11 base 3 both are more than 1, but log 3 base 2 is less than 2 and log 11 base 3 is greater than 2. So at the end we conclude that this log 11 base 3 is greater value when compared with this log 3 base 2. Likewise we need to compare. If both the values are greater than 2, then you need to fix the barrier as 3. Like that you need to zoom out the positions of the given logarithms, and with that zooming of the positions, automatically we will compare the logarithms. Just have a look and I will come with the next idea, right? I am erasing this. The next idea related to the logarithms is characteristic and mantissa of logarithmic value. Right? The next thing is what? Characteristic and mantissa of the logarithmic values. Look here carefully. See, sometimes if you leave logarithms, think about usual numbers. I will tell you that, I will give you, see what I am going to tell you is, take any number, that number is surely consists of two parts, integral part and the fractional part. Any number, not only logarithms, leave logarithms for some time. If you have 3.4879, you are able to write it like 3 plus 0.4879. And we say this 3 as the integral part. We will say this 3 as integral part, whereas this 0.479 as the fractional part. Whose fractional part and whose integral part? See, this 3 is the integral part of this 3.4879, whereas this 0.4879 is the fractional part for this 3.4879. So this integral part and fractional part exists for every number. For suppose I have a number like 13.5. You are able to write it like 13 plus 0.5. So this 13 is the integral part, this 0.5 is the fractional part. See, think here that you can't write it like this. If this is 13.5, this is, you don't write it like 12 plus 1.5, because this 1.5 is not a fractional part. Right? This is the correct task, whereas this is the wrong one. So to conclude, to fix the fractional part, you need to think about that the fractional part should be a fractional decimal. That means the value is in between 0 and 1. So every number can be represented as sum of two parts. Integral part and the fractional part. This is the integral part. The fractional part should be in between 0 and 1. The value of f less than 1, the value of f may be 0. Right? You need to keep in mind that every number n can be written in this format, that n is equals to I plus f. I is the integral part, f is the fractional part. See, basically writing a number as a sum of integral part and fractional part is not logarithms. It is usually a number system. See, in different branches of mathematics and in different situations, wherever it needs, you are able to utilize this task. Now, this is a general task, and now I am applying that general task for the logarithms also. Now I will give you few more examples. For example, if I have a number like 17. So what is the integral part for this 17? So 17, we will write that 17 as 17 plus 0. Is it right? Surely right. See, if 17 is 17 plus 0, this 17 is the integral part, whereas that 0 is the fractional part. You can't write that 17 as 16 plus 1. Don't write that 17 as 18 minus 1. You need to write that 17 as 17 plus 0 only, because the fractional part can't be 1. Fractional part can't be negative. Fractional part should be in between 0 and 1. I will give you one more example. If you have that minus 4.2, how to write this minus 4.2 as a sum of integral part and fractional part? Think about this minus 4.2. I am going to discuss here. Yeah. For example, minus 4.2. You may write it like minus 4 minus 0.2. Is it right or wrong? Surely right. Minus 4 minus 0.2 is minus 4.2 only. But you can't say this minus 4 as the integral part and 0.2 as the fractional part. Because in between those two, you need to utilize the plus sign itself. But here it is minus sign. So to get the plus sign, you don't write this minus 4.2 as minus 4 minus 0.2. You need to write it like minus 5 plus 0.8. Think once it. Minus 4.2 can be written as minus 5 plus 0.8. So we have different chances to write. Minus 4.2 can be written as minus 4 minus 0.2. This type of writing is good. Okay. But in deciding the integral part and fractional part, this is not helpful. Why? Because as a definition, integral part plus fractional part you need to write, but you have minus sign here. So by neglecting this, you need to concentrate on this way of writing. So minus 4.2 can be written as minus 5 plus 0.8. From there it is clear that minus 5 is the integral part and that 0.8 is the fractional part. Have a look. Now what I explained here it is, finding integral part and fractional part for any number, right? Not specifically for logarithms. This is a general task, useful for useful in different situations, right? Now I am going to use this general task in logarithms first, right? If I use this general task in logarithms, then it explains us about the characteristic and mantissa of logarithms. Just have a look, and I will mention that characteristic and mantissa now itself. Just have a look here. Yeah, I am going to erase this. Now, every number has integral part and fractional part. Since logarithms on logarithmic values are also numbers, so every logarithmic value surely consists of integral part and that fractional part. We will call that integral part as the characteristic of the logarithm. For example, what I am going to tell you is, if you say logarithm of b base a, see logarithm of b base a, some b and some a, surely this is a number. We are able to express this number as a sum of integral part plus fractional part. And by the basic definition of the fractional part, this fractional part should be in between 0 and 1. Maybe 0 but not 1, and always lies in between 0 and 1. Now, the integral part of this log b base a is mentioned as the characteristic of logarithm. Characteristic of log b base a. And whereas this fractional part is mentioned as mantissa of log b base a. So keep in mind that every number usually have integral part and fractional part, but specifically in logarithms, that integral part is considered as the characteristic and that fractional part is considered as the mantissa. So to find the value of a logarithm like log b base a, you need to find characteristic and mantissa. If you have characteristic and mantissa for a logarithmic value, sum of those two directly gives us a perfect logarithmic values. So to find logarithmic value, you need to know something about characteristic and mantissa. First, try to know about the characteristic. What is the characteristic? Clearly, the characteristic is the integral part of the logarithmic value. For example, if I give you like this, something, if I say, what is the characteristic of log 11 base 2? If anybody asks you to find the characteristic of log 11 base 2, that means this log 11 base 2 is a value which consists of integral part and the fractional part, and that integral part is usually its characteristic. Now what I am going to do is, this is logarithm of 11 base 2, right? And surely 2 cube is less than 11 is less than 2 power 4. What you say? 2 cube is 8, 11 is less than 2 power 4, 16, as we discussed earlier. Now just apply logarithm with base 2. Logarithm of 2 cube base 2, logarithm of 11 base 2, logarithm of 2 power 4 base 2. And this logarithm of 2 cube base 2 value is 3. And here we have logarithm of 11 base 2, and this is 4. Since we are applying logarithm with base 2, you need to utilize the same symbols. Right? This is very clear task. You need to be perfect in these type of situations. Right? Now this log 11 base 2 is a value which is in between 3 and 4. Just have a look. Since this value is in between 3 and 4, always you will write this log 11 base 2 as 3 point something. Is it right? Since you are writing like this, 3 plus something you need to mention. That something is a decimal part, and this 3 is the characteristic of this log 11 base 2. So to find the characteristic of a logarithm, you need to find out two natural numbers, specifically two integers between whose this logarithm value is located. So to find the characteristic, you need to identify the two integers in between whose values this logarithm value is located. Here log 11 base 2 is located in between 3 and 4. That in the sense log 11 base 2 is 3 point something. That means 3 plus something. So see, this 3 is the characteristic of this log 11 base 2. Right? Can I give you one more example? For example, if I need to find the logarithm of something like see, think this. Every logarithm has a characteristic value. Okay. For example, if I need to find logarithm of some 140 base 7, what is the characteristic of this logarithm of 140 base 7? To find the characteristic of this 140 base 7, you need to check where this 140 is located as a powers of 7. We know that 7 square is 49, 7 cube is 343. So 7 square is 49, 7 cube is 343. Between this 7 square and 7 cube, this 140 lies. This is very clear task. Now if you apply logarithm with base 7, log 7 square base 7 is less than log 140 base 7 is less than log 7 cube base 7. Now this log 7 square base 7 can be written as 2, whereas this log 7 cube base 7 is 3. Now we conclude that this log 140 base 7 is a number in between 2 and 3. Since it lies in between 2 and 3, this log 140 base 7 can be written as 2 point something. So 2 plus some fractional part. So what is the characteristic? 2 is its characteristic. So keep in mind that characteristic is the integral part of that logarithmic value. Is it clear? So what is that integral part? To get that integral part, you need to identify two integers between which the logarithmic value lies. So this is something about the characteristic of the logarithm. And in the next class again, I am going to deal with the characteristic along with the matrix. Just have a look, and if you have any doubts, raise your hands here.